To make the Hello Kitty Angel plush, we are using white, blue, and black chenille yarn, which uses an 8mm crochet hook. We also have a pair of scissors, stitch markers, fabric glue, and yellow and black felt to make the eyes and the nose. The stitches used in this video include the single crochet, double crochet, increase, invisible decrease, double crochet, decrease, slip stitch, chain stitch, and the magic circle. Now we're going to make the ears. So we're going to start with a magic circle. And then we're going to do 6 crochets in the magic circle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tighten this up. There's 5 and 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 crochets. Then we're going to tighten up the magic circle. In our first crochet, we're going to do an increase. We're going to put our stitch marker on this first single crochet, and then in the same stitch we're going to do our second, and then we're going to do a single crochet, and then again an increase, single crochet, and increase, and we're going to end with a single crochet. For this row we should have 9 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For our next row, we're going to start with a single crochet. I'm going to add that stitch marker. And then we're going to do an increase and 2 single crochets. So we're going to do an increase. And then 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2. Then we're going to do that again. So we're going to do an increase. And then 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2. Then we're going to do an increase. And then end with a single crochet. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For row number 4, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. There's 1. Let's put our stitch marker on there. And 2 single crochets. Then we're going to do an increase. And then 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then to an increase, and then we're going to do that one more time. 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. And then we're going to make 1 single crochet. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. For row number 5, we're going to start with 3 single crochets. There's 1. Let's put in our stitch marker. 2, 3, and then we're going to do an increase. And then 4 single crochets and an increase. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase. And then we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase. And then we're going to end our row with a single crochet. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and number 18. Next, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. There's 1. Two, and then we're going to do increase, and 5 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And an increase. And then we're going to repeat that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. And we're going to end with 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And now we're finished with our ear. So let's finish this off. I'm going to pull the yarn through. Then we're going to get our darning needle. So here we have our darning needle. We're going to remove the stitch marker. We're going to skip a crochet, then go into the next one, and then through the inside loop of that original where we began. And then we have our fake little crochet, and then we're going to weave our end through. And then back one more. And then we're going to cut it off. And now we're finished with our ear. And for our ear, we're going to make 2 of these. As you can see, I finished both of the ears and I placed them on the Hello Kitty head. How I place them? If you look at the top of the head, you'll see that middle stitch here. And so if you count this as 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the 6th row here is where the bottom of the ear goes. So we're going to sew the bottom of the ear on that line where the 6th and 7th row meets, and we'll start sewing at that point and then going to the top of the ear. And this ear also ends at that 6th row. So we're going to stuff the ear. And here I used a little crochet hook. This is a very tiny crochet hook to stick the ear in so that we have it in place. So I might add a little more stuffing in this ear. Okay, that looks good. Let me make sure that it's in place. Okay, so now that I have it on that 6th row, I'm going to, turn it around a little bit, make sure that it's nice and centered. And then I'm going to get our darning needle. We have our darning needle, and I'm going to start here at the bottom. And I'm going to place it through these 2 holes of the stitch. And I'm going to go into the ear. I'm going to pull that through, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch in the ear. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch in the head, then go out on the other side. So you can see the stitch right here. And then I'm going to go back into the next stitch on the ear, and then go down, and then into the head on the next hole, then go through the following hole into the head, then up into the ear, and then down, and then through the head on that next stitch, and through the following stitch. And then I'm going to go back into the ear, and we're going to do that same stitch all the way around the ear. So you'll see the stitch on the bottom of the ear here. So now we're on the last stitch of the ear. So I'm going to go into this next stitch, and then I'm just going to go back into the ear and out the following hole. Now we have both of the tails together. So I'm going to cut them, then tie a knot. And then I'm going to weave in the ends. There's one. I'm going to cut that. And here we have two. And we're just going to cut those ends. And then we're finished with one of the ears, and we're going to work on our second ear. We have the eyes and nose glued on, so starting from the bottom here at the middle, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and on top of row 10, we have the nose, and that's in the middle of the face. And then from the nose, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. And then we have the edge of the eye on that fourth stitch. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches and the edge of the eye. And between the eyes, if we start with the row right above the nose, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now that we have the eyes and the nose glued on, we're going to work on our whiskers. For our whiskers, we're going to get a piece of yarn with a darning needle that's long enough to make 3 of the whiskers. So we're going to start here on the row right above the eye, and we're going to go 3 stitches down. So there's 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go into this hole here. And rather than going straight across on the same row, we're going to go one above. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go into that stitch right above here, so that we have that slant in the top whisker. Okay, so we have our whisker, and then I'm removing the darning needle from here and pulling it back a little bit. And then as you can see, we have that slant. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between the whisker ends. So I'm going to get this other end here. Put it on the darning needle. Then we're going back into this hole. And then we're going to go down 2 rows from the beginning of this whisker. So there's 1, 2, and then we're starting 3 down. So there's 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go into this hole here. And for this middle whisker, we're going straight across. So we're counting 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going straight down on the same line. And then we're going to go 2 down. So we're counting 1, 2, and then we're going to go right below this one, our previous whisker, and we're going to go into this hole here. So that's 2 rows down. And for this last whisker, we're going to go in a slant again. Rather than straight, we're going 1 row down. So we're going to count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to go right into this line here. We're going to go back up to where we started. And now that we have both of the ends on this side, we're going to cut the yarn. Then we're going to tie a knot. And cut the yarn. Then we're just going to tuck this knot right into the head. And then we're done with our 3 whiskers. So we have one in a slant, the first one in a slant, straight, and then in a slant. And then we're going to put the whiskers on the other side and use the same process. To make the bow, we're going to start with 5 chains. We have our slip knot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do 9 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 4, 5, and 6 in this top chain. There's 4, number 5, and number 6. And then we're going to do number 7, number 8, oops, number 8, and number 9. And then we should have 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Next, we're going to start with an increase. There's 1, 2, and that's our increase. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then 3 increases. There's 1, then we're going to go into the next stitch. There's 2, then in this third stitch, and that's 3. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and then we're going to end with an increase. There's 1 and 2 for the increase. And we should have 14. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 single crochets. Next, we're going to do 14 single crochets all the way around. So there's 1. I'm going to add our stitch marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Next, we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to start with a decrease. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 2 decreases. There's 1, 2, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2 single crochets, and we're going to end with a decrease. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to start with a decrease. Add that stitch marker. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and then 2 decreases. There's 1, 2 decreases, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1 and 2. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to start with an increase. There's 1. Add our stitch marker. 2. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and then we're going to do 2 increases. There's 1, and 2 increases. Then we're going to do a single crochet and an increase. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We're going to start with an increase. one, two. We finished our increase, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 3 increases. So there's 1, and 2, and then we have 3, after our 3 increases, we're going to do 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. And then in our last crochet, we're going to do an increase. There's 1 and 2 for the increase. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. For some reason, row number 8 didn't get recorded, but it's supposed to be 2 decreases, 5 single crochets, a decrease, and 5 single crochets. Next, we're going to do 13 single crochets all the way around. There's 1. Get our stitch marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We're going to start with 2 decreases. There's 1. We're going to add our stitch marker. 2. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. There's 1 and 2 single crochets. Then we're going to do a decrease. And another decrease. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Next, we're just going to pull our yarn through. We're going to leave enough so that we can sew the edge together. I'm going to pull our yarn out. Move our stitch marker. We have our darning needle, and we're just going to sew this together. Here, if you want to put some stuffing in it, you could, but this is pretty thick, so I'm going to just leave it like this. So here we're just going to match them up. And we're just going to do these whip stitches right across. I'm going to tuck in the end. And then we're finished with our bow. Just going to make a knot here. And then cut the end off. Then I'm just going to tuck this in. And we're finished with our bow. We have the larger side and the smaller side, and we're going to put in our center. Here you can add a flower or just the round circle. To make the middle of the bow, we're going to start with a magic circle. And then we're going to put 6 single crochets inside our circle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to pull our circle together. Once we have our magic circle, we're going to do a single crochet and an increase all the way around. So there's our single crochet. I'm going to put our stitch marker on there. Then we're going to do an increase. Then a single crochet. Then an increase. Then a single crochet. And an increase. I'm going to cut it. Pull out our yarn. Then we're going to make our little fake crochet. Let's pull this a little bit tighter. We're going to get our darning needle, skip a stitch, and then go into that next stitch. And then back down that original stitch. And then we're going to put our yarn, weave in our yarn tail. And here I'm going to try to go to one side. So I'm going to go through this here. Then I'm going to get the other tail and put it through the opposite end. This way we can tie on our middle. And here we have our bow, and before I tie on the middle, I'm going to tie on another piece so that we can get that bow effect with the 2 little folds in it. So we're going to tie this together. I'm going to tie that. Okay, so that's nice and firm. Then we're going to get our middle and then tie that on. I'm going to cut this off. So then we just have these strings to work with when we attach the bow. And we're done with our bow. So now we have our bow, and we're just going to place it right in front of the ear in that little slant. I'm going to put this in so I know where to sew it. I'm going to get the darning needle, and I'm just going to sew in the bow. Just go through the head and through the bow. And here you can grab the middle if you want to, so that you have that little fold. And then back into the head. I'm going to put the end towards the middle. And then I'm going to get the other side and do the same thing. We just go through the bow and then back through the head. And then you can tie the two ends together. And then we're done sewing on the bow. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch another long video. Please stay tuned for the next parts of this Hello Kitty Blue Angel series. If you found this video useful, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Have a wonderful day.